And just to circle back a little bit on the narrow body side, if you look at and reference this IBA report, and again, hat tip to Stu Hatcher on this, I think it's greater. They're predicting in their forecast, I think it's like greater than 3/4 of aircraft that are going to be delivered are going to be next year are going to be in that 150 to 250 seat segment. So really that narrow body segment, right? So on the wide body side, if that's your baseline and you've got the E2 and you've got ATR and you've got wide bodies kind of mixed into that remaining component, if you have wide bodies in your fleet, you are probably extending them out for passenger service as a result. I do want to say,
I'm just personally disappointed in the conservatism of your predictions for 2025. All of you are just doing the easy. My prediction for 2025 is that Air Koryo is going to have a big order for MC20 Ones to boost that program, perhaps some SSJs mixed in, and it's going to make news. That's my prediction.
You're always on the leading edge, Peter.
Yeah.
On the predictions, I do want to say, I've referenced a couple of data providers here. I know Courtney and his partner Garrick. They haven't done a webinar, but there is a big aviation conference in January. I know they're going to be attending. So if your listeners are there and if they haven't already booked some time with them, or I'm told even Courtney does photos on the sidewalk. He's a celebrity in Dublin now.
Wow, that's right.
Yeah, so now he got it.
Podcast, guys.
Now he got it. Definitely reach out to them to book some time. Mark Streeter, also a friend of ours, who's the credit analyst covering airlines and aviation at JP Morgan, and Jamie Baker, JP Morgan's U.S. airline equity analyst, did a webinar. I'm not sure that it's out there in the public domain, but it was really interesting, just talking about the year. They published some excellent materials, and Courtney and Garrick were mentioned in that as well. They provide some really interesting slides and context covering both the airline side and the leasing side. And finally, I know Courtney doesn't talk about it all that much. Visualapproach.io. If you do not get his weekly newsletter, you absolutely should. And if you see him in Dublin, ask for a photo.
Listen, my prediction for 2025, I hang out with Brian more often.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's get that recorded. Get that recorded.
Yeah.
But you guys are great, and Rob and Delphine and the Cerium team have been helpful in this, as has Stu and Jack at IPA.
Nice. Cool. So let's.
We'll be having them back to see if they're right on their 2025 prediction.
Yeah, we can invite them. Yeah,
the fun thing here is we can do the same thing at the end of next year, and then see how close we got to our predictions, and get more experts in if we need to. Yeah.
You guys are our engines on our Aeropedia logo now. We've added you.
I would just like to point out who's number one.
Moving right along. Aircraft equipment. Can you identify the purpose of the bulbous equipment seen here on some of the 737 Classic wingtips? It was an option.
Is that a logo light?
It is.
You
got
Suck it, Reinot. You got one.
That's it. Good man.
L1011 that.
Right. We're going to do a round robin with our trivia round. So I was first, but I'm not doing all the questions this time. So who wants to go next?
I'll go. I've got a quick one. An aircraft had a very specific type of flap. It was called a Cooper flap. What was it, and what did it do?
Now, you say this. Is this a modern
It is modern to me.
Courtney? Yeah, well.
I think it was also called the Cooper Lock. It was used tongue in cheek.
Does the aircraft still fly today?
Somewhere.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is a type. This is not like a tail number.
All right.
Yeah. So, all right. So I'm going to go out on a limb. You said Cooper flap.
Yeah, or Cooper Lock.
So this is DB or Cooper lock, DB Cooper.
You are correct.
So does it like lock the air stairs on the
That's
727?
exactly what it does. They put a literal flap that was in the stream that when you got enough airspeed, the wind pushed it and it locked the door. It physically moved a chunk of metal across the aft air stairs so that there was no control. You couldn't override it. It was aerodynamically driven, and it prevented people from parachuting out of the back.
Oh my God. And this was as a result of the DB Cooper incident?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I didn't know that's what they called it. It was Cooper Flap is the name.
Yeah, I don't think that was the official name. That's just kind of what people called it.
What people called it. Yeah.
Wow.
Very good. That was a good one.
All right.
Did you hear that? That counts
All
as
right.
2.
So go back in history, gents. I'll throw one out there. Not a graphic for you, but this airline, which airline is what I'm going to ask, operated a transatlantic joint venture with United Airlines for service between Washington, D.C. and Madrid. What type of aircraft was used, and where were the crews based? Should we have like the Jeopardy music on this?
What year was this?
Oh, Aer Lingus
Yeah, that's right. Aer Lingus.
with
So it
7
was
fives.
it was an A330-200.
Oh.
It was 2010 maybe, or 2009, 2010, I think, and it ended in 2012 as a result of I think the pilot contract negotiation at the time. So they use an Irish registered A330-200 based at Dulles. It flew to Madrid. It had Irish pilots and that were based in Washington, D.C. and U.S. based flight attendants.
Wow.
Wow.
It was like a white label service. So Aer Lingus provided the crew, the operation. United did the marketing. And Courtney and Garrick on their podcast had Jochen Schnott, Jock. Jock ran that operation for Aer Lingus.
Oh, very cool.
That was a great one.
Yeah.
Plus, I like it because I knew the part of the answer.
Okay, I'll go next. So as of right now, which is the longest route in the world, flown by which airline, and what aircraft do they use?
Is Perth to
Singapore
London?
Airlines A350 from Singapore to Newark.
No.
Perth to London on the 789. The